So, I think it was yesterday. I was, oh goodness, I was watching, no, okay. Last weekend, we'll make it broader. Last weekend, I was watching either a stream or video from Destiny. And in that, he was reviewing Matt Walsh's What is a Woman? And that whole scenario had kind of got my brain going on the subject even of what is a woman, or that type of thing. So it occurs to me that there's kind of two parts to this discourse. There's the whole idea of biological binaries, right? And I'd gone to that a couple of my past episodes, the idea of the reproductive cells we produce and how that would put you into one or the other of the categories. I don't think there is such a thing as non-binary, certainly on a biological level. But then there's also like a psychological aspect to this argument. And that's a little bit, I think it's more doubtful, but it's also more arbitrary, or I don't know, like just hard to adjudicate. So it occurs to me to wonder though, if someone asks you, what does it feel like to be a guy? Like, providing they're not just talking about having dangly bits. Like, what does it actually feel like to be a guy? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if I could tell you what it feels like to be a guy. But I also feel like the onus is on them, the non-binaries and the people who want people to believe they're a member of the opposite gender. The onus is, the burden of proof is on them to prove that they're members of the opposite gender. Now, I do think with regards to gender dysphoria, there is probably something that's inspiring it. That there is something, like they would have done studies that would show that there is some abnormality in the brain that would perhaps have more in common with a feminine brain than a masculine brain. So I think there is something tangible that's perhaps causing them to be skeptical of their gender experience. But I also feel like unless you're the most like dogmatic sort of free willer, the whole idea that one's psychological experience could exist independently or in contradiction stupid throat, in contradiction to your biological reality, it's doubtful, and I feel like you have to prove that that's the case, which is not really possible to do. At the end of the day, if I'm standing on the deck of the Titanic with Caitlyn Jenner, and the call goes out, women and children first, and Caitlyn Jenner tries to go over the side in a lifeboat, I can imagine what I would do. I think I can imagine what 99% of people would do in that situation. Point being, in no way that actually matters would I put these people in the same category as women, or vice versa, right? Now, as far as like the whole idea of gender reassignment surgery, it feels kind of weird that we draw the line there. Like, as far as like keeping it away from kids, yes, absolutely. But we let people put botulism in their bodies. We let people put silicone in their bodies. We let people break their legs and put metal rods in their bodies. We let people do steroids, for heaven's sakes. We let people do a bunch of weird crap to their bodies. So the whole idea of saying, no, reassignment is a bridge too far, it's like, okay, it's kind of arbitrary. And I suppose if you want to talk about gender reassignment as a treatment for gender dysphoria, we can talk. I still think you're wrong. I still think it's unhealthy, but we can talk about that. Yeah. Anyways, I think that was about it. All right. If you liked the episode, please press the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to.